It's time to become the best version of yourself and help others do the same. It's Monday morning, and we're talking success.
Hello, Soul family. Jordan Peterson coming at you live from our Soul Studios here in Pleasant Grove, Utah. Today is July 7th. I hope you guys had a fantastic 4th of July weekend, spent some time with your family. I hope you got some sleep, the fireworks weren't too noisy, keeping you up, and that nobody burnt anything down or burned each other, because that's usually how it goes. We consider ourselves lucky when I have 6 kids running around with sparklers and fireworks and doing all that stuff, not to come away with any hospital bills, which we did. So we're in a good spot there. It looks like we got a great group on with us this morning. As always, when you see me peeking over to my left here, because I got this fantastic screen that allows me to see all of your comments. And it looks like you guys are doing great out there with some big smiles, as Lydia mentioned. It changes everything. So good to see you. For those that are affected by those floods down in Texas, our prayers are with you. My gosh, that is crazy. And if you could send some rain up here to Utah, we would love it. They let us know we're officially into drought status. We haven't had any rain yet this summer. We had just a little bit over the 4th. But when I say a little bit, it was like spitting at us. It wasn't enough to really do anything here in this part of the state, at least. And so, that flooding in Texas is crazy right now. So hopefully everything just takes care of itself. As Debbie says, it's a crazy disaster and so heartbreaking. No question about that. But I hope you guys had a great weekend. What a great start to the month. July is always just a fun month. It just feels like you're in that backswing now of the rest of the year. We're sneaking up on our Ignite coming up in October, which is fantastic. Summer's kind of in full swing. We got all the holidays and all the vacations and everything going on. And man, it just you kind of feel like you're hitting your groove finally in July, and it's awesome. Planted some extra flowers over the weekend for my wife. She loves the really colorful ones, the annuals. So planted some of those. Had to mix in some perennials as well, because I'm the guy who, if I'm going to do work, I like it to benefit me more than once. And so I plant those perennials so they keep coming back year after year after year. And that's always fun. But sometimes it's fun to put a little bit of annual, those little tulips and different, or petunias and different things that are fun to have a little splash of color for a little bit. So anyway, I hope you guys had a great weekend. As always, chime in. Why do you chime in? Because then I can see you. If you're just watching and you don't chime in, I don't know you're there. And if you are there and you chime in, then I can put your name into our bucket of fun to win some great swag items like this. You may be looking at this saying, Jordan, that's the weirdest looking bag I've ever seen. It doesn't even open. That's because it's not a bag, my friend. This is a beach towel, beach blanket thing. You can fold it out, and I'll tell you what, it is so slick and easy. It even has a stuff pocket right there. It's stuff upside down, and you can stick stuff in there. But I don't know if you're like me, hitting the water, enjoying summer, even just putting that down on the park so you don't have to have the grass that makes your legs itchy. This is fantastic. So hopefully you guys are feeling lucky today and can win this. Has a nice little carrying handles as well. You guys can take that. And then we also have this fantastic Soul Naturals Cast No water bottle. It's a slick one to use, guys. It's the right size. Sometimes you don't want one that's so big, especially if you're going on a hike. You don't want to pack around a gallon of water. This one's great for those, like just going for a walk or just taking it with you. And you can even put hot stuff in it too. So great. We'll keep that right there so you guys can kind of know that it's available. So Rosa Nunez says, I used my Soul Beach blanket this weekend. There you go. Debbie likes to use it in the yard for some outdoor yoga. We love that, right? Dad's bragging a little bit, had a little bit of rain. See, that's what I'm saying. I'd love to have some rain, but we'll see if we can get some. It looks like down in Louisiana, Granny D's saying they're getting rain every day right now, which I know down there makes it really hard to cut the grass because the grass grows so fast when it's raining all the time. Here, I cut my grass once a week. That's plenty. Sometimes I go once every 10 days, 12 days. So, and we have to water it pretty profusely to keep it looking green. Otherwise it goes kind of a yellowy golden pretty quick. So, all right. As always, we love to recognize you guys for the good work that you've done since we've closed out the month of June and we're now into July. It gives us an opportunity to recognize those of you who have ranked up in the past month. And so that's the success key we're going to go over today. As you continue to talk to people and help them, obviously you grow. And so here comes our new Soul Pros that have ranked up for the first time in the month of June. Here we go. We've got Marisa Menjivar coming in at a 1K, Cecilia Ramirez. We've got Aibel Alcantara. We've got Gloria Facha. Maricela Ibarra coming in at a 1K as well. Yolanda Valentini. Joanne and David Lehman. We've got Juana Hernandez. We've got Veronica Ramirez. Adriana Barona. And Basheen Baker coming in at 1Ks. That's awesome. Okay, next up, we have John Ramirez coming in as at a 2K. We've got Brandon Olmos coming in at a 2K. At our 3Ks, we've got Virginia Casileles coming in at 3K. Rosalinda Moya. And we go into our Soul Leader. This is our 5K now. We've got Sue Fries and Sue. Well done over there in Minnesota. Or Michigan, excuse me. Sylvia Solorzano coming in at 5K as well. We've got Yusbel Gonzalez coming in at a 10K. Well done, Yusbel. And man, you guys, it's so awesome to recognize you guys and congratulate you guys on all those things. And it's fun to see because as you see, you have some new 1Ks coming in, and then that bumps up their mentor. For instance, we had Sue that hit 5K. And she had Joanne and Basheen underneath her that hit 1K. So it just all naturally flows. You help the people underneath you accomplish their goals, and it helps you accomplish yours. And that's the beauty of what we've got going on here, right? And that's always fun to see. Now, without further ado, we had this Soul Elite on with us really kind of at the beginning of the year in January. And I felt like it was high time to get old Corinne Lott on with us again. So welcome to the show again, Corinne Lott. Corinne, good to see you, my friend.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you up in Idaho?
Just great. We're some of those getting a lot of rain. So
I know, I'm jealous
we
of
love
this.
it.
I think you should share a little bit. It's kind of, I get that I live in a desert, but it's always fun to at least have a little bit of rain.
It's been great.
Oh, good stuff. It looks like you're there in your Soul office, and kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about that today because in some conversations you and I have had recently, it sounds like you're kind of getting back to the basics. And so talk to us a little bit about what that means for you.
Well, back to the basics means just basically starting over. Several years ago, I think it's been 13 years since I got introduced to Soul, and was working out of my office. And I enjoyed it. Sharon and I would do a lot of things together and do little parties, or we would do happy hours or foot bath parties or muscle testing groups. And over the last several years, I had kind of pulled back and just tried to do some of the online things, really focus on sharing a lot on social media, trying to do some online classes, things like that. But over the last few months, I've just really felt inspired to get back to where I started. I know that sometimes we think, let's just change it up and try something new, which is good. But I know that where I had a lot of my success with Soul and with my clients and with what I enjoy doing, it was with a lot of clients and seeing them and sharing the Soul products that way. I've started going back to doing little foot bath get-togethers, and which has been awesome because they come, we get them all situated, get them comfortable, we get them their feet in the water. I mix up a Vital for them so that they can try the Vital, because we know that that is such a great thing to use when you're detoxing. It just kind of enhances everything because of the wonderful adaptogens that are in there and the chlorophyll blend. So we have them sip on a Vital as we're talking. Sometimes I'll pull out the iPad or have them just go right to their phone and take the health quiz, which gives us a perfect opportunity to talk about their health and where some of the products can help. I'm one of those that I'm like, oh, I have a product for that, or I have a drink for that, or I have an oil for that. And I love how Soul has made it so simple. You don't have to know so much about everything. If someone's tired, they probably need something out of the lift category. If someone's really high strung and has so much energy that you're like, oh my heavens, they probably need a little bit of calm. And someone who's running 100 miles an hour and just keeps running maybe needs a little bit of balance, so they've made it so easy. So we do the foot bath, and then we finish it off with using the soul oils by closing those pores on their feet, and they feel amazing. And almost every person that leaves here walks out with either being a member or a specialist or trying the sample kit. So it's been just a wonderful thing to kind of get back to that. And being consistent is something that my husband pointed out this morning. He said, you may not be that sprint marathon runner, or I shouldn't say marathon because the sprinter, but you have always been consistent. And I said, yeah, I'm a little speed walker. And then I said, wait, maybe I'm just a walker, because that I'm always going to be sharing soul. It just is at different speeds here and there. So I've loved being able to go back to that and be able to start with a new community, and even kind of bringing back some of those that I had worked on, 7 or 8 years ago. And it's just been wonderful.
Oh, I love all of that. That's so great. And for those who are listening and know Corinne, you know that she is a gatherer and loves to partay. And so going back to kind of what drove you into soul and what made it fun for you, it's such a fun thing, I think, because anytime people get together with you, I know they're going to have a great time and they're going to come away just feeling better. And so you being able to gather those around there and do it again, I think is exciting. And the one thing I really like to hear is when you were mentioning how you had people that you reached out to over 10 years ago, and then all of a sudden you mention again that you're thinking about doing some of these foot bath parties, and they're like, I'm in, and then they haven't even been around for 10 years. Tell a little bit about that.
Yeah. About 2 weeks ago, we did a fundraiser for Caramel Apples. My kids are going to London in just a few months for dance. And a lady had seen some of my stuff on Facebook, and she sees that I post, my Cinnamate hot chocolate every morning. But she had actually ordered some apples to support the kids. And after I dropped them off, I just, thanked her again and said, hey, I am going to be starting up the foot bath parties again, and I'd love to get back together and kind of see where you're at on your own health journey and see if there's somewhere I could help. And she responded immediately and said, I am so excited. I would love to come and do a foot bath. I'd love to get back together. And that's what's so fun is the way that we've done it when you're building things organically and you just are sharing the things that you love and that you're passionate about. People are still around and people are still watching. And so I was really excited about that. And that's happened more times than not. I was at a party over the 4th and had mentioned, she said, my sister's in town. And I said, oh, wonderful. And they're like, any chance we could come do a foot bath? I'm like, you bet. So they came over the 4th. And now I have new friends that are from Florida and new members of Soul. So it's just exciting that it's just another fun way to share.
I love that. And so for those who haven't heard about foot baths or kind of what they're all about, we have a question here about hearing more about foot baths. Can you give just a really brief overview of what it looks like? The thing I love about them is you don't have to really know anything about anything to make them work, and you can order them off of Amazon. Right. So talk a little bit about kind of where you find them and how you kind of set up these foot bath parties and how they work.
Okay, well, I'm going to go back a little bit further. About 10 years ago, I had a client of mine that said, hey, my mom just got this foot bath machine, and I feel really good when I use it. And she said, is that something that you can, do muscle response testing on to see if it's really benefiting me? And I said, sure. And then, me, I'm always trying to find something better. If it's going to better my clientele, if it's going to better me, I like to know more about it. And so I went ahead and tested her, and I said, yeah, that's testing really well with some of the autoimmune things that she was struggling with. And then after our session, I actually tested myself for it. And I thought, oh, I want to go try it. And I felt so great. But an ionic foot bath machine, it basically just puts positive and negative ions throughout your body. and it has a way of stimulating the organs and glands, and through the pores of your feet. We've got over 2,000 pores on each foot, and it's just one of the safest ways for you to detox. And so I did a few of those, and then I thought, well, I'm gonna order a machine. And I remember my first time I told my husband, I'm like, I want to do this foot bath machine, and back then, I mean, it was years and years ago, it was $1,200 for the machine, for all of the accessories and the tubs and everything that I would need to get started to do it. And so I immediately put my little um, plan in place, and started going to a salon, and doing foot baths. And I would be there all day. And I would go. I did it one summer where I went a few times a week, and I was able to pay for that foot bath. Plus, was such a wonderful way because again, everybody's using the Vital. We're using the oils to close those pores after the foot bath's done. So it was really a fun thing for me to be able to do that. And we even throughout the years have done like wedding parties. You know how sometimes us ladies like to go and get pedicures and our toenails done and things. We've done parties where it's been the bridal party and we do a little detox. It's really good for stress, and it's really good for kind of jump starting those organs and glands throughout the body so that we have more energy, we're sleeping better and things like that. So I felt like it went really hand in hand with soul, and using those products as well. But that's kind of where it got started. And now it's just one of those things that it's always set up in my office. My kids invite their friends over. When people don't feel good, they'll say, hey, I know it's late. Is there any way we could come over for a foot bath? So it is just another great way for us to incorporate, another tool in our tool belt, for health. But yeah, back in the day, I had to go right through the company to get machines. Now you can get them off of Amazon. I do a double one because it's always more fun with friends. And so I know when I feel like I need one, probably chances are my friend needs ones too. And so I'll just say, hey, I'm doing a foot bath tonight at 8. Anybody wants to come over? And so that's always been a fun thing as well.
Oh, I love it. And nowadays, as you mentioned, I mean, back in the day, yeah, $1,200. Now on Amazon, you can get them for a couple $100 or so, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's super easy. You don't need to be any sort of a scientist to make them work. You put the water in, you put the little device in the tub with your feet, and you just get to sit and enjoy. And the nice thing about it is it's quiet enough. You can just sit there and chat with your friends as you do it, sip on your Soul Vital or whatever else you got going on. And then you also get to compare the nasty water afterwards to see who made the water the most nasty, which is always kind of a competition when you do it, right?
Yep, it is. It's always fun. And when I go to dump it, I'm always like, oh my word, heavy metals. Oh, you've been on lots of medications lately. Oh, your water is a shade of green. That tells me they probably have some gallbladder issues going on. And it's a great way for me to address their overall health, which again is such a great segue into anything to do with soul.
I love that. And so for those who may be interested in doing this, who haven't ever done it before, there are times that you could charge somebody to come over and do the foot bath, then get them on the soul as well. Sometimes you might just have a party and invite them over. It's free for everybody who comes for the foot baths. And then you can help them understand soul as well. I mean, there's all sorts of ways to do it. Am I correct?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
Any way that you can gather people together is a great way, to be able to share soul and to be able to do the foot baths. So yeah, it's a great way.
Oh, I love it. And the thing that we're seeing now more than any, I think, is that with COVID and what happened in the pandemic, everybody was so separated. And so everybody was trying to figure out what online stuff. We did a lot of stuff over Zoom. We couldn't do in-house meetings and all of that. And now it seems like there's kind of a desire for everybody to kind of get back together, those ones that we haven't talked to in a decade, that say, you're still doing that? Man, can I come be a part of that? I'd love to join with you and be a part of that. And so I think there's opportunities there. There's going to be those that are listening today that say, I just don't have the time or energy to do that. And that's totally great. But for those that maybe are looking for something a little extra, this could be the right thing for them to kind of go back to trying something new. Or for you, this is going back to what made you successful in the very beginning, right?
Right.
No, I love it. Is there anything else you'd like to share about that, Corinne?
Nope, just basically whatever you're going to choose to do, just be consistent with it. And it doesn't have to go all hardcore on it, but just little by little is and the consistency is going to be just another success tool for you.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Corinne, for joining us today. Have a great day up in Idaho, and we'll chat with you again soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
See ya. Oh, isn't that great? Anna says, do you put something specific in the water? You don't. You don't. You just have a little, it's a little electrode looking thing that you set in the water with it, and it kind of makes some bubbles and does its thing. So you just use just basic water and throw it in there. It's super easy to use. I'm sure you can find out more information. We bought some here at the office years ago. They were like $200 from Amazon, and they worked great. So there's a lot of opportunity. As far as which oils do we use, man, you can use any of the oils, and they work out really well. You can also mix a couple drops of oils in the Solflex AC cream and just rub it in your feet afterwards, and it just makes everything just smell better and feel better. So it's great. Yeah, Corinne says it's an array with water and sea salt. Yep, that's how it works. And there's a lot of videos you can find on YouTube. You can ask Corinne directly if you want. It's kind of a fun deal. So all the way around, it's great to kind of get together and just talk about it. And then as she mentioned, while you're sipping on Solvital or doing different things, man, there's just a great feeling in the room, and people are always more interested in it. You kind of got a captive audience as they sit there with their feet in the water for a little while. And so you have an opportunity to really just talk to them and kind of see where they're at with their health. Because what we find is with Sol, we have something to help everybody, right? There's always something going on with individuals. And as you have an opportunity just to chat with them and listen, you find that they're kind of going through some things, right? And that can be anything from physical to emotional to mental to financial to anything else. And then you're able to help them out, right? Tammy says you could also do the sample pack, right? You could have them sit there say, man, this Sol stuff is great. Hey, let's get you on that sample pack. It's only $15. And then you also get that gift card to purchase some more product afterwards. And they're in a great spot moving forward. Thank you, Tammy, for talking about that. Rosa Nunez says, I want one. Yeah, go check out Amazon. You'll be able to find them. And maybe Corinne could even post on our Sol Business Facebook page, maybe some of the ones she likes to give you some ideas, right? Jeleva says, can have a Sol sip and soak party. I love it. You can call it however you'd like, right? Jeleva, that's a great name for it. I love that. We used to call them happy hours when everybody would get together and try some of the Sol drinks. A sip and soak party could be great. You might have to explain a little bit what it is. You don't want people showing up in their swimsuits, or maybe you do. I don't know. But great stuff, guys. And the key thing here too is Corinne started out with this. She had some great success, was able to grow, take care of people, had a ton of fun doing it. I was able to go up there and participate in some of these, and it was always just a great time to get together and just talk about Sol and be with like-minded people that just wanted to better themselves. And then all of a sudden, COVID hits and different things happen, and you try new things and see if you can figure it out. And then you kind of forget what got you there in the first place. And sometimes just sitting back and saying, what was it that got me the success I was looking for in the beginning? And how do I get back there? And what you find oftentimes it's fairly simple. And that's what I love so much about our Sol Prime. It's just talking to new people, bringing new people into Sol, and then helping your people do the exact same thing, whatever mode that is. If it's social media, fantastic. If it's a sip and soak party, great. If it's a happy hour or any time you get together with your friends, fantastic. It can be whatever you want. But just that opportunity to continue to talk to people, new customers, new acquisitions, new people, new friends, that is the lifeblood of any business. And so however you need to do that, go for it. And then you're going to find that there's people just like Corinne did. Been 10 years, they've just been sitting, watching, and waiting, and all of a sudden the opportunity presents itself, and boom, they're there. And think of that. You have people that are in the thick of it with their kids or whatever. All of a sudden 10 years goes by, and all those kids are out of the house, and now the opportunity presents itself where they say, yeah, I want to be a part of this, and that would be great, or some other circumstances change. So just stay in touch with those people. You're going to see some great things with it. All right. As we wrap up here, tomorrow night, July 8th, Tuesday at 6 p.m., we have another Soul Showcase. I know we kind of spilled the beans on it a little bit and thought it was last week. It is actually tomorrow at 6 o'clock here from the Soul Studios. We got 3 great stories you are not going to want to miss. It's so fun to hear the stories that are coming out from Soul and the people that have their lives changed because of it. So do not miss that. Put it in your phone as a reminder, 6 o'clock tomorrow, Soul Showcase. You are going to love it. And let's get you guys out the door with a couple prizes. And here we go. First one is for this beach mat. Oh my heck. You wouldn't believe it. I mean, I've got this thing clear full. Can't really see it because it's white paper on a white bowl. The very first person, Corinne Lott. Can you believe that? Corinne Lott. Listen, you participate, you be a part of this whole thing, and you're amazed at what happens. So we'll have to get some of you guys on next time and see if it helps you as well. The next up we have Denise Smith. Denise Smith, we've got you taken care of as well. All right, guys, so good to be with you today. I hope you guys have a fantastic day and the rest of your week. As always, keep sharing soul. We sure love you guys, and we'll see you again soon.